You fall in love with a lot of players on a lot of different teams when they do things for the fans. There's a lot of things that guys, they embrace the fans. They become a fan favorite, a cult favorite in town for big plays that they make, but especially when they embrace the fans. And I think about that when it comes to the Cleveland Guardians. Josh Naylor has become one of the fan favorites in this town. Could he make a decision strictly for the fans? And I think give us something that we all want. You know, we love Jose Ramirez. He's a great player. He took a contract deal. You know, you love Emmanuel Clase because he's just filthy and good, right? There's something that Josh Naylor could do that I think is maybe important to him, could be a career accolade, but it's something that it's more for the fans. And I hope he does it. I'm leaning a little way that he might actually put his name on down, say, I'll go to the home run derby. He's an all-star. He's going to be there anyway. Would he sign up to go into the Midsummer Classic, the all-star game? He's there. Would he sign up to do the home run derby just for the fans? So this morning on our 2 for Tuesday, we are going to maybe let him know a little bit. Do you, the fans, want him in the home run derby? Are you worried? Maybe a little bit like Ryan over there that he could jack a swing up. I want him to do it. I'll cast my vote on that coming up in a little bit. Plenty of guards to get to this morning. Trade targets. I've got the final draft rankings that we'll get to coming up as well. Basketball side of things. Cavs are quiet. Maybe too quiet. We'll discuss that. I got to get out of the way. Good man. Oh, man.
I think we have our conspiracy button.
Go ahead and hit it.
I don't. This might not be able. Let me try.
We're in the other studio today.
What was that?
I don't know what that was. Ah, Ryan's got it back. Maybe too quiet for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll get to that. I've got some football today. The D tackles on ESPN. No Browns on the list, but we'll run through that. I've got Coach of the Year odds that I've got to rip through, and I will save you some money. I will save you some money on people to not bet for Coach of the Year. And a name that got thrown out for the Browns to sign from Bleacher Report, I would walk to Berea with a sign saying, do not sign this player. I'll tell you who that is. Day 2 of the grid to get you a big giveaway. We got the bracket, which is hot and heavy. We got the morning update, time up. We got it all for you right here on a beautiful 2 for Tuesday. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. Guards last night, a stinker. Didn't like their approach. It is what it is. We'll discuss a lot of guards coming up. Again, I'm really interested to run through these final rankings for the draft, which is Sunday. I think people, you know, we know we have the first pick. Sunday night, Guardians will make the first overall pick. We'll run through some of the names on there, and we do have a few more names of veterans poised to be moved, guys that I want for the guards, but we'll discuss all that coming up. But
Matt, I got to ask you, though, first. Yeah. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've never watched an MLB draft. I'm going to watch this one, obviously, because the Guardians have the number 1 pick.
It's a lot like the NFL draft.
What should I expect?
It's a lot like the NFL draft. They'll be up there. There's a ticker. Manfred will be there. It's weird because I don't know, like the last draft actually sat, like I actually think it was Dansby Swanson was the last draft. It was a while ago.
Wow. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, we don't watch it like the NFL draft. It kind of runs that way. They've got the ticker and then they got the timer and, you know, they'll make their pick. The interesting thing about the MLB draft is, like, I'll just go back to last year's draft. There are, obviously, you have your first overall, you know, your first round picks, right? That's that. Then you have what's called a competitive balance round, which is like picks 30 through something. And that is usually when you lose a player. Then you get to the second round. There's another competitive balance round. So, like, imagine this. You know how, like, the NFL gets, they do, oh my God, not supplemental picks.
Conditional?
Not conditional. You know what I'm talking about. They get picks when, like, an executive signs somewhere else, or they get a pick when compensation picks.
Yeah,
Thank you. Compensation picks. That's kind of what you do in baseball, but you get one right after the first round.
Okay.
Like right after the first round. So it's interesting from that standpoint. So it'll be fun, I think, for a lot of people that'll watch it for the first time. And obviously we'll stare down to see what the Guardians going to do. And then the money side of it, the money side of it of what you're going to pick here.
Is this going to be a thing, Matt, where I see on Twitter who we pick 20 minutes before we pick them?
That I don't know. I mean, I would assume that they're going to try to stave that off.
Like who would be the one? Like
probably Buster
Passon?
or Passon.
Yeah. It'll be Buster. 100%.
It'll probably be Buster. Yeah, and I mean, I hope he does. Like I would say, probably just stay off Twitter till the guards make their pick. But I'll give you the names because when we run through this list coming up, I would tell you it's going to be one of 4 guys. I really think we're down to 4 guys. And it's 4. 2 you probably know. The other 2 you might have heard of. Weatherholt, probably not. I would bet my bottom dollar it's one of those 4. So we'll get to that coming up. I did want to start by just saying I think everybody saw the article this morning that came out. And we all wish Bernie well. And there's things I can't speak on. There's things I won't speak on. I think people know what's going on. And this is not the forum or the time to dive into any of that, but we all wish Bernie well. Why would you not, right? He is beloved in this town. I get that. I understand that. I have a personal relationship with Bernie. I don't want to see him going through this. This is terrible. And for anybody, especially with a degenerative brain disease like that, that sucks. That sucks. So I just want to say that we are all sending him our best well wishes and hoping everything kind of turned around. The article had some optimism when it came to the liver stuff, and he's on the list. And I think everybody saw that article this morning. We cannot comment on a lot of those things that are, again, with what's going on. But I just wanted to say that we're all sending our well wishes to Bernie because you don't want to see anybody go through things like that. So hopefully it'll all work itself out and all sending Bernie the best wishes that we can. Guardians last night. I just hate our approach, man. In that kind of game, Gavin Williams got Corey Klubered. He got Klubered. He pitches a gem. That is a source of optimism. That curveball was on yesterday, man. Was that not? Woo!
Yeah, man. He looked good.
I get frustrated because I say you cannot spoil starts like that. And they were talking a lot about it. Hammy and Rosie were talking a lot about the Guardians' record within the division, but not against the White Sox and the Tigers. The 2 teams that you should be getting fat on and beaten up on. For some reason, we don't play that well against them. You know what that is, Ryan? It seems like a sign of a young baseball team to me. It seems like a team, again, every game they can't show me like there's a must-win or things like that. But I just watched that game last night, and I didn't like the approach that we had. With some of the swings, there were not many hard hit balls. You want to give credit to that young kid for his 3rd start of his MLB career. Great. Maybe they were just off on that. I didn't like the approach. It was 1 game. Fine. You keep winning the series. But Ryan, Twins are now 5 back. I mean, I don't like that.
No, I don't either.
I don't like that. And maybe they've found their stride just a little bit. I don't know. It's 1 game. You get back after it today. The thing that just stings is that you gave up a really good start. You wasted a really good start from Gavin Williams. Now, I don't want it to be lost. That gives me that optimism about the rest of the summer. And it's not that I expect that every start, but if he's got the command that he did yesterday, if he's able to get people out on secondary pitches while still throwing 98, he's a guy you can lean on. He is a guy that you can lean on. But the problem is, yes, okay, Rocchio, you're here to do one thing, man. You are here to do one thing. And he was trying to rush the double play, and he botched it, and you lost the game. Well, I'm angry about that. I'm more angry that you got 3 hits, and 2 of them had to come from your rookie Angel Angel Martinez.
I was going to say that. It's easy to get mad, but at the end of the day, you're not winning a game regardless with 3 hits and obviously 0 runs. So
I'll give you one better. Yeah. 0 for 13 amongst your all-stars. Steven Kwan, 0 for 4, which never really happens. Jose, 0 for 3. Naylor, 0 for 3. David Fry, 0 for 3. That's why you lost that game. If you want to boil it down to Rocchio and be mad at Brian Rocchio, that's fine. I'm going to look at it that you got 3 hits against a rookie pitcher and your all-stars when it combined 0 for 13. That's why you lost that game yesterday. Rocchio aside. But that was a great start from Gavin Williams. it is what it is, okay? You're not going to win them all. That was a frustrating one. You get back after it tonight. We'll get you our odds. We'll get you our play a little bit later. But our 2 for Tuesday question this morning, do you want Josh Naylor to go into the home run derby? And I would say that the home run derby is one of the ultimate fan experience things. Do you think those guys really want to go do it? You know, maybe to say like Pete Alonso, where he's already a multi-time champion. And I just, it's a little like the slam dunk. It's not the same. When it was McGuire and Ken Griffey Jr., and I'm not saying that there's not great power hitters, but like, is Aaron Judge going to do it this year? Shohei's already out.
I don't
like
when you have a chance to for the second year in your young career to lead the majors in homers like Aaron Judge. I don't think you do it.
That's kind of like, guys, it's not maybe seen the same way as the players because this is a fan thing. And trust me, I know it's a workout. I know it's not easy to do. And if you believe or not in that it messes your swing up, which is probably why people would vote no on this, I'd just like to see Josh Naylor go do it.
I would, too.
I voted yes. Like, I'd like to now, if you come back and he says, I don't want to do it, or there is a worry about screwing the swing up, I know you kind of buy into that. You think there's a little something with it could mess your swing up.
But I also think that's very individual based.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Like, for instance, and that's why I would be more comfortable seeing Josh than Jose go. I think Josh is a guy who's a swing kid less offense. He just hits straight tanks, but Jose can go gap to gap, he can single, he can do anything. So I'd rather see Josh. I think he has less chance of that happening. But I would like to see him. Life's too short to not.
Well, I think for him too, that's you're talking about your brand, you're talking about name recognition, all that kind of stuff. So we'll see. And I would imagine, this morning, man. I'm gonna imagine he's gonna get asked.
Yeah.
They have what, 3 participants so far?
Yeah, Bohm, Alonso, and Gunnar.
And they need 8.
Yeah.
So he's what, 5th in the AL in home runs, or 5th in baseball, or something like that. I would imagine Josh Naylor's going to get that invite. Whether he takes it or not, we'll have to see. Some other baseball things this morning. I want to start with the draft prospects because we're getting to go for Sunday night. And, you look at Paul Skeens and how quickly he came up. Usually, I don't say hitters, like Bryce Harper spent a year and a half, if that, in the minor leagues, and he came on up. But the pitchers, you can go through pretty quick. And the thing is, no matter who they take, they're taking a college player. And for people that don't maybe understand about the dynamics when it comes to taking a high school player versus a college player. So if you go to high school, and there's plenty of guys, they'll get drafted by teams in the 20th round, right, out of high school. But that's not enough for them to give up their commitment to Wake Forest or Oregon State or one of these powerhouse LSU type of schools, right? So they go, if you go to college, you got to go for 3 years. And a lot of these guys will get drafted after their junior year, and they're into the minor leagues. Teams will battle that back and forth because there is the money, talking about the salary or the signing bonus that they get to these players, and sometimes they know their agents will ask for more. There's a game to be played with that. The Guardians are going to have to play that game with the first overall pick. But when you get them into the minors, if they're a college person, they usually move a little faster because they've had the development that you need in the college game to maybe be ready to go and start out at single A. You're moving them a little bit quicker. Now, high school kids, again, like Bryce Harper, he went to that, I think, junior college or community college for a year or whatever. He was a high school kid who was a phenom, and he moved his way through pretty quick. But maybe there's more skill there. They spend more time at single A and rookie ball. There's a lot. And no matter who the Guardians take, you probably won't see them for 2 years if things are going the right way. Now, they could have, again, this meteoric rise, and they're here 2 years off. So that's another reason why I think the draft is so hard for people, because you can't see these guys right away. Now, the Guardians at number 1, they will take a hitter. There is no pitcher that they're going to take with the first overall pick. It's down to 4 hitters, in my opinion. And I go over to ESPN, and this was Kylie McDaniel with his final prospect rankings going into Sunday's draft. Number 1, Charlie Condon, Georgia, third baseman. He rakes. He rakes. They think the second he gets drafted, he will become the 15th best prospect in all of baseball. The second his name is called, he is a top 15 prospect in baseball. And I really like this as Kylie writes, if it goes bad for these players, why did it go bad? And this is his write-up, and I'll give you one for each of the 4 guys. If it doesn't work out for Condon, he said it would just be fringe hit tool with his power not translating. That's the way it would go bad for Charlie Condon. He would eventually become a corner outfielder with a fringe hit tool who only has some of the power. That would be if it went bad. He writes, Condon is now...
Sounds pretty good to me.
Well, again, but that's like, when you're talking about the first overall pick and all these advanced metrics and all that kind of crap. Condon narrowly became the top prospect in this draft, just ahead of Travis Bazzana, and we'll get to in a second. Both have an elite combo of hit, approach, raw power, and game power with some defensive value. He said that there is a gap of those two ahead of Caglione and J.J. Weatherholt, and also Braden Montgomery. The separators for Condon, his underrated combination of hit tool and pitch selection for a player with his power potential and his physical size, he's a big dude, and his underrated potential to be able to stay at third base. His comp for Charlie Condon, Chris Bryant, another first overall pick, certainly probably well known with the Cubs in their time and all that kind of stuff. So he puts Condon at 1. Number 2 is Travis Bazzana out of Oregon State. Now, Riley McDaniel says these guys, you can almost separate them with a piece of paper. They're that close. And he also says he would be a top 15 prospect the second he gets his name called. What could go bad for Bazzana? He gets too big and stiff and moves to the outfield and is a decent role player. But McDaniel writes, Bazzana's even a little more polished than Condon in terms of his optimized swing rate. Great. Pitch selection, swing, pap, and style. I think he'll sail through the minor leagues and will probably be the first player to make his major league debut and stick to an everyday role. That should be a factor there. If you think the Guardians are going to be doing something here in a couple of years, maybe you go with a guy that can move a little bit quicker through and be up there. He's borderline obsession with optimizing his offensive approach and all that other kind of stuff. He didn't do a comp for him, though, which I thought was interesting. The next, number 3, J.J. Weatherholt, shortstop, West Virginia. He'd be a top 35 prospect, and if it didn't work out for him, the soft tissue injuries downgrade his tools a notch and affect his availability, making him a solid second, third baseman with average tools. And he said he leans Weatherholt over Caglione ever so slightly in a similar floor versus ceiling debate that he's having with Condon and Bazzana. Weatherholt's above average at everything as a left-handed hitting shortstop who's done nothing but produce in college. He's a 5'10", compact type of body frame. And he says, I think Cleveland, who has the number 1 overall pick, sees a whiff of Jose Ramirez in J.J. Weatherholt, and so does he.
Wow.
So maybe that works out. Final one, Jack Caglione, first baseman and pitcher, but he's not going to pitch in the majors at Florida. He would be a top 40 prospect. If it doesn't work, it would say that he chases too much. He strikes out too much. So he would chase too much, sending him into a tool stats disconnect journeyman career. On his deep dive, he talked about Caglione. He says he's an outlier. He hit more home runs off of lefties. For his college career's OPS is nearly identical between lefties and righties, but his homer rate is significantly higher against lefties. Well, that's good. I feel like the Guardians, for a long time, we never had left-handed bats and all that kind of stuff. So that's it. And then the first pitcher's Chase Burns at 5. So here's where you're at getting ready for the draft. I feel pretty confident in saying it's going to be one of those 4. Condon, Bazzana, Caglione, or J.J. Weatherholt. The game playing of how the money works out, we have to see. You have every little thing of these guys that there's something to jump onto. There is something that you would jump onto and say, I love that about him. You'll talk yourself into it. People are a little drunk on Condon because he hits all the home runs. Bazzana's been getting a lot of buzz. Here's the thing. If the Guardians could trade that pick, like if it was the NFL draft, they would move down to 3 or 4 and get future picks. Can't do that in baseball. You don't do that in baseball.
I didn't know that.
No, you don't do that in baseball. Don't trade picks. It's your pick. You can trade players. You can trade minor leaguers. That's your pick. The only thing that they'll ever trade is bonus money or international pool money that sometimes gets moved. That's your pick. If they could, they would. They can't. Here we are. You're going with one of those four. And we'll talk ourselves into whoever it is, and it's somebody you're not going to see for a couple of years. But I just want to bring that up as we get ready to go for this weekend with where the Guardians are at. I didn't get to this article yesterday, but I thought it was pretty interesting coming up about the pressure on executives. Jeff Passan ran through the front offices with the most at stake with this trade deadline coming up. He says Brian Cashman with the Yankees, frankly, because it's the Yankees, but also, boy, have they fallen off a cliff all of a sudden. He brings up Ross Atkins, old friend up there in Toronto, mostly because he's got a really hard decision of what he's going to do, who he's going to trade. Do you tear it down? Chris Getz, general manager, Chicago White Sox. Are you trading away Garrett Crochet? What do you get back for some guys that are on your team? The Mariners, Jerry Deepo, whatever his name is, Dave Dombrowski, Phillies, Peter Bennick's Marlins. Again, they're trading away some of theirs guys. Kansas City Royals, and now we get down to Chris Antonetti and the Cleveland Guardians. Do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on Antonetti for this trade deadline? I do.
There should be.
There should be.
Is
there?
There should be.
Is there pressure on Chris Antonetti at this trade?
I hope he's sweating a little bit.
We just heard
Wiping
turn off
the
over the
brow?
weekend, right? It's serious going, hey, man, there's no trades to be had. I don't buy that for a second, too. I think there's an immense amount of pressure on Antonetti and Chernoff to do something. Here's Passan's right up on Chris Antonetti. Rarely does Cleveland go for it at the deadline. But then again, rarely are the Guardians in the position they find themselves in presently. The closest facsimile to this season is 2016, when Cleveland needed a relief help, and they went out and got the best reliever on the market in Andrew Miller. The result? A march straight to the World Series that we should have won. Damn rain delay. But anyway, Antonetti has spent a quarter century working in Cleveland's front office, and he perhaps... when he retires, they just give him like a watch. Like, he's going to be there for 40 years. Like, oh, thanks, Chris. Here's a cake and a nice Rolex for you. Bye. Have a good one. See you later. They'll rename an office. It's Chris Antonetti, general manager office or something like that. Antonetti has spent a quarter century working in Cleveland's front office, and he's perhaps the embodiment of a small market baseball ops executive. That is a factual statement. The Guardians draft well, they develop well, and their front office manager relationship is excellent, doing it on a shoestring budget. But if the Guardians want to argue that their 56-33 start isn't enough to add the big names on the market, the Cleveland could still use depth on the offensive side, a relief arm in case their big league bullpen, and especially short a starter or two, is going to be where they're going to be. Guardians signed left-hander Matt Boyd last week, but he isn't the answer. Thank you, Jeff. A move that only costs money, so it's difficult to criticize. But it's also a fraction of what Cleveland is considering to do with the level of play that they've shown. In order to get to World Series, the Guardians will need to act like making moves are a priority, not a privilege.
That was a bar.
In order to get to the World
Who wrote
Series,
that? Who wrote that?
Passan.
Okay.
Hell yeah, Jeff.
I didn't know he was
Hell
like
yeah.
that. I didn't know he was like that.
In order to get to the World Series, the Guardians will need to act like making moves are a priority, not a privilege.
I wasn't familiar with his game.
Oh, he's got a little spice to him. What he's saying there is when the Guardians would make moves up again, I would say on going all the way back to Andrew Miller, they saw moves as a privilege, right? We're in this spot, and a lot of times it's moving pieces for the future. And the Guardians, we know the list of trades over and over and over again that they fleece and they win. But Ryan, what did I say on yesterday's show? Lose the trade. I don't care. You're due for one. You frankly are due to lose a trade. Lose it. Go get me a guy. Bring him on in. And act like this is a priority. And I'd really like this. That Antonetti and Chernoff feel like they have to make a move. To send a statement to the team. To send a statement to the fan base. Again, a privilege versus the priority. I want them saying, we are going to make a move. And if you operate that way, and let's just say in some freaky way, a trade doesn't happen. That's fine. But as long as you went into it with the mindset that we are going to make one. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you enter that and say, our goal is to make a trade for a starting pitcher and improve this team, I can live with that. I can live with you entering this final stretch up into the trade deadline if you gave it everything that you had. If you burned the phones to all other 29 teams and there was a borderline list of almost anybody being available. Relative. We all get what I'm talking about here. If you went after it and they said, and again, they would never do this, but if it came out and they said, we had pretty much everybody available and nobody gave us something, I guess I could live with that. But if you go in saying, we're going to try our damnedest to do something, I'm fine with that. I'm good with that. But like Passon said, you got to start thinking that way. You got to have that shift. You have been, I don't want to say bestowed this team and where you're at, but why waste it, man? Why waste this team? And it could all blow up in the playoffs. I just want to make the playoffs, man. That's it. Beyond that, with how good this team is winning the AL Central enough for you?
No.
I would say probably not. Like, I think this team should be in the ALCS. I really think they should be in the ALCS. Whatever that path looks like, the tough teams that you got to go through, I've seen us play well again. Now, again, last night's a prime example. We still have our warts. We still maybe don't play all that well against the crap teams. That's fine. I'd rather take it to Baltimore and the Yankees and all the other good teams out there. You got to go do it. You got to go do it. Now, that being said, this morning from ESPN as well, Jorge Castillo, names on the move. And it's names that I'm going to keep bringing up. And they're all White Sox. Tommy Pham, not really. There is in no world that I want Paul DeJong. He's going to get traded. Those base running mistakes, I think he's the slowest human being I think I've ever seen on a professional surface that has to run.
Nah, Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder was pretty slow.
Albert Pujols, too.
Well, that and Miggy, because they were just old.
No, even when Prince was young.
Paul DeJong's 30 years old. He runs like a truck. No. And he's having a good offensive season, but they said he's one of the worst defensive shortstops in the major leagues this year. So, again, you don't need him, but he's on this list. Here are the guys that I'm interested in. Eric Fetty, Jack Flaherty. What are the problems with both of those guys, Ryan?
In our division?
They're in our division. And sure enough, he dropped us a nugget on Sirius when he said the dynamics of trading in division. Because they're going to ask for more, and you got to stare that guy down the face. You give them Jonathan Rodriguez, you're going to see him all the time. Oh, what? Gio Urshela's over there. Remember we got rid of Gio Urshela? And, like, that's kind of my thing. There's so much. You know, one that nobody ever talks about is, oh, my God, what's his name?
Wait, you're talking about, like, a prospect we gave up that failed?
Yeah. Do you know? No, that turned into something.
Oh.
The Rays. Diaz.
Oh, yeah.
Yandy Diaz.
Yeah.
Yandy Diaz.
Yeah, he led the majors in average last year. Yeah.
Right. Nobody ever brings him up. You always forget that he was here and they discarded him. Now, why did they discard him? Because Jose Ramirez is your future third baseman. I get that. But you let guys go. Nobody talks about Nolan Jones because that was right. Nobody talks about Will Benson because that was right. Right? So you want to start giving some of these up, but you got to stare that guy in the face all the time. And I think that's probably the fear. But also Detroit, they really want to give us Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty is one I want, man. He's 28. 28. Yeah. He's on a 1-year deal. Get him here.
That's what I'm saying. Just somebody.
That's it. That's what you and I are on the same page on this, man. And I get it because let's just let's just play this out for a second. You call the Tigers and they go, no, they absolutely not. But also the Tigers know Jack Flaherty is not a part of their future. And the thing is, he might not even be part of the Guardians' future. A lot of these guys sign deals with teams knowing that they are going to be traded. There's another guy on this list, Justin Turner. He went to Toronto. He signed a 1-year deal. He knew he was going to he was either going to be on a contending team or they were going to trade him at the trade deadline. Yeah. Jack Flaherty probably did the same thing. And he's done a great job. He's got a 3.2 ERA, 9 quality starts, including 6. I'm sorry. I thought it was like 6 out of his last whatever. We know what that is. 6 innings, 3 or fewer runs. 33% strikeout rate is second best in the American League. So you go call the Tigers. I want Jack Flaherty. I want Jonathan Rodriguez. I want Jason Chourio. And I don't know. Give me somebody else. They ain't getting Chase DeLauder from us. I don't want that.
That's what I was about to say.
Manzardo. Let's say Manzardo. What do they ask for Espino? He's hurt. If they gave up Joey Cantillo, a little piece of me would die, though. I don't want to see Joey Cantillo go anywhere. But let's just say it's any three of those guys. You make that trade. You get Jack Flaherty here. Maybe he leaves after the year. He helps you out. But then what's your fear? In 2 years, Jason Chourio comes up. He's a starting left fielder for the Tigers, and he smokes you for 5 years.
But listen, that's the risk you got to take. That's sports. Like, that's what you have to do.
Speaking to the choir here.
Like, yeah, there's going to be years you suck.
I'll deal with that.
And that's what I'm saying. If your goal is to be moderately average and a little bit more than average some years, like if that's your goal consistently, then what are you even doing it for? I'd rather go and at least risk it and maybe win a World Series, a championship, and then suck for the next decade.
Oh, 100%. And that's, again, you and I can do that. We don't have the job of Chris Antonetti.
I know, but it's like...
Here's one thing. Chris Antonetti was I just joking about that he's been there for 25 years.
I know, that's the problem, because if you could give these GMs if you could give these GMs like a guaranteed, listen, you're going to be our GM 10 years.
I don't think Chris Antonetti's ever going anywhere.
And
I really don't.
There's
nothing wrong with that.
Then that should push him even more to go for it.
He's got tenure.
That's what I'm saying. So what is he scared?
You can look and be like, dude, look at all these other trades that I aced. And I did this one maybe in a vacuum, maybe with pressure on me, but you did it. You got out there. You got your guys. So what?
And a perfect example is like it's like with this Deshaun Watson thing, right? It could go belly up, and Andrew Barry, that's going to be the biggest blemish on his GM career. They're not going to fire him.
And what have I said over and over again? I don't hold that against him.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't hold that against him.
And I'm not move you had to make.
You know, I don't know if he made that move. So that's why I don't hold it against him. And I never will. I friend, that's one that you made the move. So what? Other things we can be critical. That's one I don't feel like was his move, but we'll see.
So whose? Kevin's or Paul's? Or Haslam's?
There's your answer. He's the owner. He can do what he wants. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. He made that trade. Yeah. And if anything, Barry's had to do a great job of living without draft picks. You'll get those back. Moving on forward, it kind of is what it is. I do want to talk some football this morning, so we'll get to that coming up. But I just hope there's enough names out there. I hope we start to get to smoke. My new number one is Jack Flaherty. I'll take Fetty. That's fine. My new number one is Jack Flaherty. My new number one. Dude, we should do this. Can we bet on the college championship this weekend? On the seniors tour? Can we bet? I'd like to find the favorites for this one.
I haven't thought about that. Folks, I need to find the field, too. Let me know if you can find the field, because I got to print it out.
So, college championship this weekend. Tickets, collegechampionship.com. We're going to be there 2 days, Thursday, Friday. Thursday's our big day. Big Play Cleveland show. Hanford's going to be there. Wait, I always screw the schedule up. Let me see if I can. Thursday, Big Play Cleveland show. Josh and Maria Cribbs.
And you're talking about the show's going to be there?
Yeah. Then wait, Friday is us, Chico, Greg, and Blake Williams, right? Come get some. And then the other three are on Thursday, right? I'm screwing this all up. We're going to be there Thursday, Friday. You can't be too.
I got it.
You got it? Go ahead.
This is Thursday, 9:50 a.m., Big Play Cleveland show. Noon, I'm with Bruce. 3 p.m. the Hanford Dixon show.
That's right. And then
Friday, obviously, we're 9 to 11. Chico's at noon. The return at 1.
That's right.
And come get some at 2.
That's right. So we'll all be there Thursday, Friday. You can be too. collegeChampionships.com. That's collegechampionship.com. $25 gets you in, folks. That's it. It's going to be awesome. And you will then also get admittance into the Colleague Infinity Zone. LA Golf's going to be there. X Golf is going to be there. Horse Soldier Bourbon and so much more. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame stage, music every night. Military Appreciation Show on Friday night. 1 ticket, 2 experiences. collegechampionship.com to get your tickets. And again, we're going to be there as the official media partner on Thursday and Friday. It's going to be so much fun. I want to find the field too.
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
I think. Yeah, I got it. 78 people.
Yeah. So Stricker's going to be back, which is great.
It's an alphabetical order. Anybody you want to see?
I'm scrolling through. Stephen Ames, he's done that a lot. Stuart Appleby, Thomas Bjorn, Paul Broders.
I wonder how many of these people I recognize. Let's see. I'm going to count.
Do you want me to give you the name and I'll tell you if you know, or you tell me if you know?
I mean, I can just read this through real quick.
KJ Choi, Darren Clark. Of course, we know John Daly.
No.
No,
well, John, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Ken Duke is a longtime senior player. Ernie, thank God, I didn't know if Ernie was going to be there. I can't wait to see Ernie Els. Jim Furyk is going to be there. Retief Goosen, the Goose. Lee Jansen always just makes me laugh because there's a line in Tin Cup, and he goes, "You're hitting chili dippers up Lee Jansen's ass." Miguel Angel Jimenez. Dude, I don't know if we can do interviews. Like, they'll be on the course on Friday. If you could get me Miguel Angel Jimenez on the show, I would die.
They said who's ever like playing well is able to go for interviews or something. I don't know.
So the thing is, it is so different on the senior tour where these guys kind of get it. So they're very open to the fans. They're very open for availability. But I get it's also it's a professional tournament. VJ Singh is going to be there.
I've heard of VJ Singh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. VJ, people forget about how good.
But like deadass, him and Daly are the only ones I've heard of on
really?
this list. Yeah.
Mike Weir, former Masters champion?
No.
President Cup captain?
No.
Boo Weekley? Nothing?
Boo Radley from To Kill a Mockingbird?
No, Boo Weekley. Boo Weekley is where it is.
No, I don't know that one.
Very solid. I would say, again, for the senior tour, the only one that you really would be missing out on is Bernard Longer, and he just tore his Achilles.
How much do you think it costs to sponsor this?
The colleague people?
Yeah.
Well, millions. Which I appreciate them doing because, again, the tournament could have died. You know, I know the PGA, they made a horrible mistake, in my opinion, taking that tournament away. Whatever. Bridgestone left. They took it down in Nashville. I ain't going to bitch. But I appreciate Matt Collick for stepping up and saying, we still got to do some golf. The field includes 17 different PGA Tour champion major winners and 13 different PGA Tour major. So, again,
what do you think the average age of all these guys is?
Well, you can't play until you're 50. You can't get on the senior tour until you're 50.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I would say probably 58, something around there. You got some older guys. You got some guys that just turned 50. Because there's several guys that couldn't wait until they hit 50. And there's like an awkwardness of like, they're like 45, 46, and they can't make the cut on the PGA Tour anymore. Yeah, they're just waiting for the champions.
They got to play with average Joes for a couple of years.
Well, the thing is, about the Champions Tour, there's no cut, and it's only 3 days. So if you show up, you're playing. And there's a chance for them to still make good money. I can't remember who it was. Somebody that defected.
So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
I think it's usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
I think. Don't quote me on that. Like, the tournament goes all week. They have practice rounds and all that kind of stuff.
It says 11th to the 14th.
So maybe it is 4 days. So, yeah, that'd be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, okay, maybe it is 4 days. Sorry. The senior tour usually I thought was only 3 days. But there's no cut. And somebody talked about one of the live defectors, of course, that left. They were talking about the PGA Tour, and they go, it's one of the best retirement programs in sports. They let us keep playing golf. Even when we're seniors, like they have this tour specifically for us, and we can go play.
Oh, this is the winner of this year's College Companies Championship will receive an exemption into the 2025 Players Championship.
I believe that. So that's pretty big.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
The players
they get back into the tour. Is that what that means?
Well, if the Players Championship is just you win the Players, you get exemption forever on stuff. So that's why it's almost like the fifth major for a lot of these guys. So yeah, that's the relationship, which is why I think it's so cool that it's right here in Northeast Ohio. There is a strong relationship between the PGA Tour and the Seniors Tour, Champions Tour. It's not the Senior Tour, the Champions Tour is what they call it. But you will still, like, that's the cool thing. You will still see Steve Stricker from time to time on the PGA Tour. You still saw John Daly at the PGA Championship. Like, there's a little mix in. So then when this comes to our backyard, you get to see, again, what did I say? 13 different major winners are playing in this, right? Mike Weir, Masters champion. VJ Singh, multiple majors. Ernie Els, multiple majors. Anel Cabrera, major champion. Darren Clark, Open champion. John Daly, multiple major championships. And they're going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. The one have you ever been to a live golf tournament before?
Never.
Do you want to know and you've golfed from time to time. The one thing that you won't, the one thing that'll change for you the most is if you stand on the tee and listen to these guys tee off. Now the clubs are different. Clearly, that has a lot to do with the sound, but also just to hear the ball go. Because when you're standing out there with your buddies, I'm not standing in front of you in any stretch of the imagination because I'm going to catch one in the eye. PGA Tour, though, you stand downrange a little bit when they tee off and you hear the ball just go. It's so cool. I love it. It's a lot of fun. So we'll be there Thursday, Friday. Get your tickets. CollegeChampionship.com. Start at $25. It's going to be awesome.
It does look like it's 4 days.
Okay. All right. I don't know if they changed that.
Four championship rounds.
But again, I think this is like one of those elevated events. It's got to be, because if you win, you get into the players. I think this is one of those elevated events. So maybe that has something to do with it. It's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then the other thing, depending on tee times, which I think we should get tomorrow. If not today. No. If it starts on Thursday, we got to get our tee times today. So then what you do is you find your group. And, like, you know, when you get off the air, like, we'll be like, oh, I'm going to go follow these guys. They're over on 13, and we're going to walk over there and go watch them. It's going to be awesome. So we'll see you there. CollegeChampionship.com. Over to some football. So I get right now, it's a little bit of the slow time, and people are a little grasping at straws. So Bleacher Report put out this article from Christopher Knox, and I ain't ripping him, but I didn't like this. And I saw it. Shout out to Dog Pound Daily. This is the one that aggregated, and I saw it on. So they ran through a list of 10 bargain basement veteran signings to help teams. So there's veterans out there for one reason or another, and they could maybe help a team on the low. Like number 1, Jamal Adams. Potential suitors.
Hell no.
Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah, I'm fine.
You can go to the Ravens. Remember Quan Alexander?
Yeah. Linebacker?
Linebacker. Potential fit, Baltimore, Green Bay. David Bakhtiari, Aaron Rodgers' old running mate. Potential suitor, Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I mean, only I.
Now,
what's the point unless an injury?
I will tell you, that is not the guy that I would run to Berea with a sign and says absolutely not. So I think we all know Bakhtiari. He's only played 13 games over the last 3 years. Up there in Green Bay, every year was like, oh, is Bakhtiari back? Is he going to be good? Now, when he was on, he was on. He was literally an all-pro type of player. The problem is he would play 3 games and then have some sort of surgery. However, Bakhtiari is hoping to return to pre-injury form after undergoing a procedure on his knee. He was on the Adam Schefter podcast and said this: I'm your cornerstone guy. Some guys not only going to play in September, but December into February, and obviously I'm hopeful for a couple of more years. The write-up on why he'd make fit for the Cleveland Browns. Jed Wills, Jack Conklin, DeJuan Jones, all coming off season-ending injuries last year. But they say Wills has failed to establish himself as a top-tier left tackle. So it would behoove the Browns to see if Bakhtiari could fill that role in 2024. The other team, Kansas City Chiefs, and I think they're always looking for offensive line.
So he's going to bench Wills?
I want to talk about that in a second, because there's another guy in this list that's listed for the Browns. Stephon, and again, these are bargain deals, bargain free agents for teams. Stephon Gilmore, Chiefs 49ers. Pass rusher Carl Lawson, Ravens Bengals. Yannick Ngakoue, Falcons Raiders. Former Brown Emmanuel Agba, Vikings Eagles. Hunter Renfrow.
You've been about Hunter Renfrow.
They say Broncos Saints. They don't put the Browns on this list.
Yeah, I mean,
on a cheapie.
I suppose
$3 million.
I suppose, but I mean, you got to see what you got in Cedric.
I was just gonna say, you do that,
right?
You're cutting your nose off to spite your face to say, I don't really want to see what Ced Tillman or David Bell has.
Right?
Okay. I just think about it, but that's just me. Then Michael Thomas.
Same thing. Nope. No.
Panthers Broncos. I would love Michael Thomas here. I'd like if $4 million with a bunch of incentives. Come on. I'd rather have Michael Thomas. I would much rather have Michael Thomas than Hunter Renfrow.
Well, yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, final one. The other one that I have a problem with. Donovan Smith, offensive lineman, 31. A lot of the same things that you bring up with Bakhtiari. Here's the issue. He is the most penalized offensive lineman in football. Absolutely over my dead body, hell freaking no on Donovan Smith. He doesn't have the injury problems. He started 136 regular season games. He's out there. but he's one of the most penalized offensive line. And in fact, the write-up on Dog Pound Daily, despite winning championships, over the last 2 years, he's been responsible for 21 penalties and 8 allowed sacks, according to Pro Football Focus. So I think that article is interesting that they did list the Browns for 2 offensive tackles. Now, this inherently comes back to how do you feel about your offensive tackle situation for the Browns, right? I should ask you, what do you think of Jed Wills? What do you think of Jed Wills?
I think he's okay. I think his ceiling's very limited.
Okay. There's 2 schools of thought on that. Number one, we can't pay everybody, and maybe we'll just deal with an average to maybe a little above average left tackle that we pay like an average to maybe a little above average.
Which a lot of teams deal with.
That's fine.
And make it work.
And then you keep DeJuan Jones at right tackle, and you steward Jack Conklin on after this season. So bringing in another one, because here's kind of my pushback on this. I need a future solution. My solutions for right now are okay, where I would almost listen to any combination of those 3 guys starting for me. Now, again, Wills is more of just the left tackle. DeJuan Jones and Jack Conklin, your 2 right tackles. Is this year that they transition DeJuan Jones over to left tackle and solve that forever? I don't know. Do you think that Bakhtiari could be your future? I don't know. The problem is you won't find that out. Like, imagine this. Imagine they sign Bakhtiari. I don't want to stomach them signing Donovan Smith. But let's just say they sign Bakhtiari. He's only 32. If you truly believe the injuries are behind him, which I don't, now you're almost banking on Jed Wills not being the guy so you could play Bakhtiari to prove that he's the guy. Here's your ultimate question.
It's an all-in year.
Who's got a brighter future, Jed Wills or David Bakhtiari? David Bakhtiari wasn't all-pro. He's older. He's hurt. Jed Wills, you kind of know maybe more of what you're getting there. You got to make that decision in a year where you got to find out about Deshaun Watson, where you're trying to compete for a championship, or very least the playoffs. I don't know if I got time for all that bullcrap. But it comes back to, are you okay with Jed Wills?
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to think, Matt, because let's say in 2 years, I mean, the only people that I see being staples of the O-line, I mean, Jedrick Wills possibly, and then what, DeJuan Jones and Zach Zinter?
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
So, you're debating.
Batonio's probably gone.
Yeah.
Teller probably gone. Maybe not. Maybe on another deal or something. I don't know.
Not even probably.
You think so?
100%.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So there you go. So you operate. That's like, again, that's piecing over. You're just bringing in a couple stopgaps. Now, the thing is, Andrew Berry has aced a lot of that. The Andrew Berry special, a veteran $3, $4, $5, $6 million deal for 1 year to come be a stopgap. I just don't think they need it this year. Now, next year, that could be a prime year. That could be a prime year. They move on from Conklin. They move on from Jed Wills. Then you pick up a 1-year guy for your left tackle or your right tackle, depending on DeJuan Jones. And you start to get your draft picks back. Then maybe eventually you draft your future guy.
Right. And your plan is basically, unfortunately, hinging on a Deshaun Watson extension or a cut.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
100%. So I just thought that was an interesting article that they put 2, again, this was Bleacher Report's 10 bargain bin NFL free agent deal.
Bargain bin.
That's what they called it.
Like the $1 DVDs. You get at Walmart.
Oh, I've been through that.
Yeah.
Legion. You ever see the movie Legion?
No.
It's not good. Oh my God. Who's the guy that plays Jarvis in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Paul Bettany. Isn't he married to Jennifer Connelly? Good for him.
Jennifer Connelly. I don't know if I know that.
She was in Maverick, Top Gun Maverick. She's hot. Anyway.
I could tell by the way you said that.
Paul Bettany plays the Archangel, Michael. He's got to come down and protect humanity from angels that are coming down to try to kill them.
Oh, she was what else was she in?
She's in a lot of stuff. She's been in a lot of stuff.
I just watched her in something.
Shooting from the hip. Hulk, Beautiful Mind, Labyrinth, Career Opportunities.
No.
Recently, Spider-Man?
No.
Only the Brave?
No,
Shelter?
No.
Bad Behavior?
No.
Winter's Tale? The Dilemma? 9? The Day the Earth Stood Still?
What was it? It was...
Can you give me just something?
I think it was a TV show.
Oh, well, I'm in the wrong area here. She's only been in 3 TV shows: Snowpiercer, Dark Matter, The Street, and Heart of Justice. So it was a movie.
No.
I don't know.
That's going to kill me.
You can go look that up and break. I don't know what you saw Jennifer Connelly.
Damn it. Unless there's somebody that looks like her.
She does have a doppelganger. There is somebody that looks a lot like Jennifer Connelly. Hang on. Was it Allison Williams?
Let me see what she looks like.
I
don't think so.
Okay.
Wait.
I don't know. Here's a picture of her with Courtney Cox. I guess they look a little alike because they both have dark hair.
Maybe I'm thinking of Lake Bell.
Sure. Don't know.
You know who that is?
No.
You would know who she was.
What did you find the movie that you thought you saw him in?
It's a good question. That would be the next thing to do.
That would be the next thing to Google. Has she been in a movie that you've seen?
I don't know, Max.
All right, it's just going to frustrate you the rest of the way on out. Just like it'd be frustrating for me if the Browns.
It was 100% Jennifer Connelly.
All right, fine. Well, I don't know what you saw her in, but there she is. Legion is a horrible. Dennis Quaid's in it. Lucas Black is in it. That's the last dollar bargain bin movie I got out of the dollar one there. Other thing on football I wanted to get to, because I was listening from Pro Football Network yesterday, and I think there's money to be made here. So the 2024 NFL Coach of the Year betting odds. Ryan, have you seen this? Are you just going to keep searching Jennifer Connelly?
No.
Seriously, I will stop this. If we need to figure this out, we'll figure it out. Are you sure it was Jennifer Connelly?
It had to have been. It looks like that's not a face you forget.
Okay.
Like, she looks very unique.
So, and you watched this movie recently.
What? I mean, it was one with Vince Vaughn was in it. His friend was getting cheated on, and he found out, but he didn't tell anybody because he didn't want to. With Kevin James, Vince Vaughn and Kevin James.
The Dilemma?
Is she in that movie?
I don't know.
Look up the cast.
The Dilemma is Vince Vaughn, Kevin James, and Jennifer Connelly. You saw her in The Dilemma.
She was Vince Vaughn.
I said The Dilemma. How did I not say that?
I don't know. I
did.
Yeah, maybe you did.
Ron Howard directed it.
She was. Yeah, she was.
Beth.
She was Vince Vaughn's. I went to high school with a kid named Vince Vaughn. Not Vince Vaughn. Vince Vaughn's.
Oh, Winona
girlfriend.
Ryder, Channing Tatum, Queen Latifah.
Channing Tatum was the one.
All right.
Yeah, Winona Ryder.
I don't know. I've never seen it. I have no idea. But yes, that was Jennifer Connelly.
I feel like a wave of just relief.
Just a relief. Now we can move on with the show. I'm glad you figured that out. Jennifer Connelly in The Dilemma.
Thank you.
All right, NFL Coach of the Year.
I have not seen this list.
Okay. So I want you to guess if you had to pick the favorite, and these are all long shot because it's the season hasn't even started yet.
Actually, the only one I saw was, I think, the favorite.
Okay, plus 900.
Was it Eberflus?
It is Eberflus.
That's the only one I saw.
Okay,
so I don't know anybody else.
Second best, tied at plus 1100.
So is this going down the formula of a coach taking a bad team to the playoffs?
Kind of, yes. Yes. Certainly one. The other one's a bad team, but they should be good.
Saleh?
He has one.
Nice. And Harbaugh?
Harbaugh's correct.
Yeah, I mean, you just follow a simple formula for that, really.
Third is the first guy that has a really good team that has started to turn it around at plus 1200.
Who is it? Campbell?
No. No. He's on the list. He's plus 1500. It's Matt LaFleur.
Yep.
Then it goes Raheem Morris, Atlanta. That's, again, a really, really bad team. He turned around, but you have Kirk Cousins. Then DeMeco Ryan, then Jonathan Gannon, then Dan Campbell again. So here's your top betting odds from DraftKings on the NFL Coach of the Year coming up. And obviously, Kevin Stefanski, I would say outside of going like 15-2, he's probably not going to win it again. They like the new blood in that, whatever. So it goes Eberflus, Saleh, Harbaugh, LaFleur, Raheem Morris, DeMeco Ryans, Jonathan Gannon, and Dan Campbell. Do not put a cent of your hard-earned money on Matt Eberflus or Robert Saleh to win NFL Coach of the Year.
Well,
they will never get the credit. Never get it.
What do you mean?
Okay,
if the Bears go to the playoffs, I don't think they will.
That's going to be all about Caleb Williams.
Well, sure.
And also, there is a stink on Matt Eberflus that he is one of the worst coaches in the NFL. And if they do turn it around, everybody's going to say Caleb Williams. It's like Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor will never win Coach of the Year because there's a stink that he's not all that good. It's because of the players that he has. The same thing is on Eberflus. That guy, I'm telling you, it is more likely that he gets fired after this season than it does him winning the Coach of the Year. Don't do it. Don't put a penny on that. It's not going to happen. And you're following the right model. You're following this team was bad, they turned it around, and you give the coach a lot of the credit. I don't think Eberflus will ever get the lion's share of that credit because you've seen him without it. Like Kevin Stefanski turning the Browns around, it is undeniable the impact that he had on that team and what he did. Now, like anything, right? It's all about your players. And he deserved it this past year of going through all the trials and tribulations and all the quarterbacks and all that kind of stuff. I get it. I don't think Eberflus will ever get the credit that maybe he deserves or doesn't. And I just don't think he's a very good coach.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think he's
trying to
very
look at
good.
the list and like cook
So
up
he's
some
off.
formulas.
So don't put any money on Matt Eberflus.
I would go. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I would go with following the formula we talk about. If the Falcons win the South, which I think is which I think is honestly a very, very possible scenario.
I would listen to Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, Raheem Morris. I think would be my
like
pick.
Matt LaFleur plus 1,200. Here's another thing. Do not spend a penny on Robert Saleh. Don't do it.
Yeah.
That's actually a worse bet, in my opinion, than Matt Eberflus. Saleh, that's all Aaron Rodgers, man. And even with the offseason that they had and bringing in all those kind of players, and I think, I don't think there's a stink on Saleh as much as Eberflus of being a bad coach, but like,
do you think Saleh is kind of just?
Never gonna get it.
Do you think
never gonna get it?
Do you think Saleh's at this point kind of just the coach that they're gonna ride out with this Aaron Rodgers experiment and then move on?
No. If this goes bad at all this year, then they're gonna fire him and ask Aaron who he wants to be his coach for his final year. Mark my words on that.
Okay.
I think both those guys are on the hot seat. I really do. McDermott, I brought him up last year. I think he's certainly on the hot seat down there. But I think really,
but you would let that happen, and then you just whoever after the final year of Rodgers fire whoever Rodgers hired.
Yeah, what are you
wanted to hire.
What are you gonna do?
I guess. I guess it's not really that hard.
And you got to go all in.
Yeah.
If you're going to go all in, you're now in the Aaron Rodgers business. Whether you like that or not, you better do it.
But it's not like basketball, though. You're not seeing rookie head coaches go to the Super Bowl.
Not necessarily.
Like, you're not
but like, what if he really wanted? But like that, you're right. Not a rookie,
but if he really wanted somebody, they're not going to
Arians
right
type, something like that.
But if there's somebody he really wants that is truly capable of doing that,
he really likes Jim
they're
Schwartz.
not going to be available.
What if he calls Jim Schwartz? He had to face him a lot of there in Detroit.
Sure, Schwartz was also head coach.
I'm trying to think of coordinators that had a bite at
Right.
the apple.
No,
they're going back to,
right.
and he came to mind. I'm glad he's here. Trust me.
Right.
Like something like that. I think the AFC East.
Belichick.
There you go. Perfect. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That'd be funny.
I really think there's a chance
that would be funny
that all three of the coaches in the AFC East that not Gerard Mayo who just got the job. I think McDaniel's on the hot seat. I think McDermott's on the hot seat. And I sure as hell think Robert Saleh's on the hot seat. I do.
You think McDaniel's on the hot seat?
Hell yeah,
already?
he is. They got to go this year, man. They got to do it now. Has he not underwhelmed with them?
Have they still not signed Tua?
No. I always get him and Burrow confused. You're right. Because like of all the Lawrence is signed, Burrow, and I go in the different draft class, but of like that era. Tua doesn't.
They don't want to pay him.
Well, I think it's like, dude, could you just see Dak Prescott going there?
Yeah, potentially.
But the thing is, then, do you dive in with Mike McDaniel and saying, we're believing in you, which quarterback do you need, versus Tua, we're believing in you, which coach do you need? Right? Yeah. I think there's a lot. Eberflus and Saleh, hell no. Absolutely not. Do not waste your money. Harbaugh, I could see, and there's like already like a little, momentum for him, which I get.
Yeah, but you got to make the playoffs. I don't think Chargers make the playoffs.
I think with, right, I agree with that. I think LaFleur, because I'm a big buyer in Jordan Love this year and what they can do. Yeah. Raheem Morris, the turnaround.
Right. It's like, is this going to be a Kevin Stefanski type award given this year where your team just is super, super, super good? Or is it going to be the rookie head coach takes the team to the playoffs?
D'Amico Ryans, 1,300 plus 1,300.
That's exactly what it was. It was Stefanski. It was the coach that exceeded and was a great team
win it,
versus
he would
the
have
rookie.
won it last year.
Who?
D'Amico Ryans.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. But again, those were the two guys. Everybody said those two, right?
I could see the Kevin Stefanski versus D'Amico Ryans, what that was last year. I could see that being this year.
Sure.
The same thing with like LaFleur versus Raheem Morris.
But give me this. Houston going to be able to do it again?
Right. No, I don't think
that's one of my underlying questions about football this year. Of all the other teams that we're watching, all that kind of stuff, I'm sorry, I'm a little skeptical about Houston doing all that again.
And even if they are good, that's fine. They're still expected like 10 wins this season.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like
that's one that I that's one team that I just have circled as being like, I can't wait to watch. I cannot wait to see what the Houston Texans are or aren't. And it's not even that I'm rooting. My root against them would just be that we would have to face them in the wild card or fight them for a wild card team.
Root against Stroud.
I know that's what I'm saying. Is I truly, of all the teams, like,
and I'm not even an Ohio State guy,
right? Like, I'll say this: I don't want to see the Lions be successful. I don't want to see the Dolphins be successful. I want the Bills to burn down to the ground, let alone all the division teams that I hate. I truly am in the middle when it comes to Houston, and maybe that's a little bias on C.J. Stroud. You know, really, when you do look at it, we should have every reason to hate them.
Yeah.
There's a little budding rivalry to be had there. Not just even the Watson comparison thing, but we just seem to keep running into them, right? Maybe even as a little Browns fan, I should be leaning towards I hate them. I don't.
Yeah.
But boy, do I want to see what they do this year. I'm very intrigued. And it's mostly about
Diggs going there might make me hate him next year.
You know, you went 1,000 miles an hour. You went so fast, you took advantage of a shit division last year. You had other quarterbacks getting hurt. You had Jacksonville choke artists over there.
Unbelievable.
Anthony Richardson, they're another one that I just want to see what they are.
I think the Colts.
That's one that I think is a little interesting. And they're just in the same division. So DeMeco Ryans, I actually think, is off my list for that. Gannon with the Cardinals, nah. Bro, you're not even the best coach in your own division. How are you going to go win Coach of the Year? Kyle Shanahan's never on this list. Like, it's just fatigue is what it is.
Yeah. And then again, it comes back to expectations.
Well, and I think Dan Campbell, I think that cat's out of the bag a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that cat's out of the bag for Dan Campbell. So, again, these are the top ones from DraftKings. Eberflus, Saleh, Harbaugh, Matt LaFleur, Raheem Morris.
How much is Raheem Morris?
Plus 1,300.
Yeah, I put $100 on that. I get 1,300.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
I might mess around to do that.
Let me see. Because you know what I wanted.
The formula is right in front of us.
What? You just sprinkle your hundreds?
Go back to last year. If Kevin Stefanski didn't somehow win 11 games with 4 or 5 different quarterbacks, the award would have easily went to DeMeco Ryans.
We're on DraftKings right now. Where's Coach of the Year? I don't have Coach of the Year here. I've got Comeback Player, Offensive Rookie of the Year, MVP. Huh. Because I wanted to see where Kevin Stefanski was. All right, this is
he could go 16-0. Only way he gets his third Coach of the Year, or 17-0.
17-0.
There's no way they give it to him again.
Yeah, I don't even see him on here. I don't see him on here. This is from last month. I don't see him there.
I don't think has there ever been a head coach to win it 3 times?
No.
I don't think. I
don't think so. So here, okay. So you want a little preseason odd help here on this? This is really, really good. Okay. I'm going to go back the last, 10 years of the Coach of the Year, and I'm going to tell you their preseason odds to win it. Kevin Stefanski last year was plus 3,000 when he won it.
Holy shit. Shula won the award 4 times.
Yeah, that makes
Belichick
sense.
and Chuck Knox have 3.
There we go. Sorry. Chuck Noll or Chuck Knox?
It says Chuck Knox.
Okay, Chuck Knox. I don't actually want to know what the award might not. I don't know. I'm confusing myself. Anyway. All right, so here's some betting parameters to help you out. Kevin Stefanski was plus 3,000 last year. Brian Dable in 2022 was plus 1,400. Vrabel was plus 2,500 in 21. Stefanski was plus 2,000 in 20. John Harbaugh was plus 2,800 in 2019. Matt Nagy is the only one on this list that was under plus 1,000 when he won it in 18 at plus 875. McVay was plus 5,000 preseason odds to win Coach of the Year when he won it in 17. Garrett plus 2,800 in 16. Ron Rivera plus 4,000 back in 2015. So I bring that up to say this. As I look at this quick math, I'm going to try to do it here on the fly, and you know me. Your best bet is to take a coach who has plus 2,000 or longer odds. History tells you it's going to be one of them. Because that comes back to what? Rookie coach, turning a team around. Or like last year with Stefanski plus 3,000, they just thought there's no way he's going to win it again. Thought the Browns might suck, but he won it.
Who are all the coaches that eliminates on the list?
Well, that would be everybody on our list right here.
Yeah.
Because Dan Campbell's plus, again, I don't know why I can't get the full list here.
Are you sure you did that math right? Plus 2,000?
All right, so here you go. 3,000, 1,400, 2,500.
Hold on.
You're going to actually add it up?
Hell yeah. I'm trying to make some bread.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
9. You're going to have to divide it by 9.
Okay.
Plus 3,000.
Okay.
1,400.
Okay.
2,500.
Okay.
2,000.
Okay.
2,800.
Okay.
875.
875.
Yes.
Okay.
5,000.
Okay.
2,800. 4,000.
And what am I dividing it by again?
9. Divide that. Oh, add it up, divide it by 9.
2,268, I think.
So you're better. Your
Wow.
odds tell you to pick somebody longer than plus 2,200.
Okay,
Let's go 2.
I'm
just
sorry,
to
I
be
doubted your math.
You're right to do that, but
Won't do it again.
But somewhere around plus 2,000. That's your best bet. So that would eliminate all of these ones. Why can't I get the full freaking list here? Coach of the year. Hang on. Wait. NFL Coach of the Year odds. Let's see what we got here. You want Vegas Insider?
Sure.
Okay. So, this is fun then, because then we can pick somebody off of this list. Kevin Stefanski, by the way, is plus 6,600. He has the longest odds with Todd Bowles, Dennis Allen, and Andy Reid. Same thing.
It's just not going to happen.
This is not going to happen. So if we go with our metric, I will start you at plus 2,200. And I'm going to give you the list of coaches that qualify for what we're talking about here. You got to pick one. You ready?
Yeah.
Gerard Mayo, Dan Campbell, which again, I just saw Dan Campbell somewhere else. Whatever. Sean McVay, Antonio Pierce, Mike Tomlin, Sean Payton, Kevin O'Connell, Zach Taylor, Doug Peterson, Sean McDermott, Nick Sirianni, Brian Dable, Mike McCarthy, John Harbaugh, Bowles, Stefanski, Dennis Allen, Andy Reid.
Oh, God.
You got to pick one off of that list.
I guess if I had to
fit our parameters.
Right, if I had to pick one, then I want, because like I said, I don't think it's going to be any of those rookie-ish head coaches, because I don't think any of the teams you said for them are good enough to make the playoffs, and I think that's honestly kind of a requirement.
Sure.
So I'm going based off of I need them to win their division. I probably need them to win 12 games, and not many teams you said could do that, so I'm going to go with Dan Campbell.
Okay. Here are the guys I'm taking off the list. I don't like Gerard Mayo. I don't like Antonio Pierce.
Right.
I don't like Sean Payton.
Right.
I don't like Zach Taylor. Doug Peterson's not going to win that award.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold on to him.
No.
Brian Dable ain't winning that award. Mike McCarthy's not going to win that award. And I don't think Todd Bowles or Dennis Allen are going to win that award. So you have Reid, Stefanski, John Harbaugh, Nick Sirianni. I could listen to Sean McDermott if they go and they have the same team without all the players that are around them. But again, then you start giving your credit to Josh Allen. I give you a little sneaky Kevin O'Connell. Do you believe the Vikings could make some noise in the NFC North? I don't know. But that's one, like,
I mean,
that
if
team
if
could
Sam
be really
Darnold,
good.
like, for instance,
Could
right.
be really good.
If
you see somebody put a massive amount of money on it, not a massive amount, like I think $1,000 on Sam Darnold to win the MVP this year.
I
might as well just giving me that money, but that's okay.
If he has a mini career resurgence, then I don't see a reason why they couldn't be good.
I could talk myself into Kevin O'Connell.
Their defense is obviously not very good compared to what they should be on offense. You're playing the Packers twice a year. You're playing the Lions twice a year. That's pretty tough. I don't know.
I could get some money on Sean McVay. You could talk me into that. I might put a couple of credits there on Mike Tomlin.
So that was one that kind of stuck out when you said it. A guy that surprisingly somehow never won it. If the Steelers do somehow, God, win their division now. If the Steelers somehow pull that out of their ass and win the division, go ahead and write his name on it.
Well, and winning the division, not necessarily. Browns didn't win it last year. I get where you're saying with your parameters.
To win the AFC North, sure, but how good it's going to be?
Somebody's got to win it.
Right.
And especially, like, I think even if the Steelers made it, with everything that's going on, and then it kind of go to the,
but he's just been doing that every year, so it's like, what's going to make this year
so
different?
Again, we came up with basically over the last 9 years, your average preseason odds for Coach of the Year came out to about 2,200. That's the list of guys you'd have to pick from.
Yeah.
If following that metric.
I'm still
following that
well.
metric.
All right, well, who are you going with? I'm still going with Raheem Morris. It can subject to change.
I still like LaFleur.
Okay.
I still like LaFleur. Because he's got the one, a little like why Dan Campbell thought he was going to make it. He's an obvious reason for the turnaround there.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a little build-up. It's the build-up of doing it versus like the shock and awe of just doing it in 1 year. It kind of leans more towards the shock and awe of 1 year, but I would probably go LaFleur. Steichen's on this list if you think Anthony Richardson comes back and is really good with the Colts.
So you got Pack, and I might too. I have to think about this, but you got Packers winning the division.
I am very high on the.
So you have them winning the division.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, Dan Campbell would get it over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And again,
Agreed.
I think the Lions are one of those other teams too. Like I just kind of keep my eye out. Like, do I really think they're going to be able to do what they did last year? It's never that easy.
Oh my God, they should have been in the Super Bowl.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like that hangover.
That happened to the Browns.
Pressure,
Oh my God.
You got to have a lot of things go your way. All right, let's catch a break. Well, an hour or two now. We'll come back. We'll get to the morning update. And then it's day 2.
Yeah.
Folks, Immaculate Grid. We aced yesterday. If we do it all week with no outside assistance, we have a big prize to give away at the end of the week. We got to get there. Today is day 2. I'm not counting my chickens. We haven't looked at it yet. That'd be breaking the rules. We'll get to all that coming up right here on Big Play. Folks, Tuesday, big day for us. The return, Josh and Maria Cribbs tonight, and Enter the Jungle. James Rapine, Andrew Fox Miller, talking everything. Joe Burrow, he's out there, man.
He's making a name for himself in the modeling world,
I guess he got ripped for going to Fashion Week or whatever it was. All his friends, he said all his friends were ripping him. What did I see today on Burrow?
He's a pretty boy.
Burrow. He's going to give give people something to talk about in 2024 is what he said, which is on NFL.com this morning.
I mean,
he's on Pardon My Take yesterday. You know what? I saw Bengalorian and Drew. They were all freaking out about it. Burrow yesterday. What's happened? That's what happens when you get hurt. Talking about people forgetting about him. You don't play football, people forget about you. That's part of the game. You're not out there and people aren't watching you, then there's nothing to talk about. So I'm going to give the people something to talk about this year, and I'm excited about it. Ooh.
All right, Joe.
So we got to enter the jungle tonight.
Maybe beat the Browns once. We'll talk about
nice. It. We got to get back on our Cincinnati guys for this fall coming up.
Yeah.
With the football side of things. Tell them to get a basketball team so we can do that too.
Yeah.
Check it all out. BigPlay.com. BigPlay.com/horse. You want to get involved with our horse racing venture here? It's everywhere. BigPlay.com. Check it out. Break. Grid. Got to do it. Comes your way next.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. And you saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
At Collick Companies, we are making a difference in the lives of children and families in our community. For 70 years, Firestone Country Club has been a stage for some of the greatest golfers in history, but it's more than just a tournament. Having raised over $30 million for charitable organizations in Northeast Ohio. That's why we're proud to be the presenting sponsor of the Collick Companies Championship at Firestone Country Club. Join us in continuing the legacy of giving back at this incredible event and help us make an even bigger impact in Northeast Ohio.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now. And they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
All right, welcome back, Fontana Show. Follow us on X, Twitter, at Matt Fontana Show. We're also up on YouTube. You can subscribe there. We're on Twitch. Drop us a follow there, and Instagram for any and all of the clips. We got a busy hour 2 coming up. So here's where we're at. We'll do the morning update. We will jump right into the Immaculate Grid to keep our streak going. We'll jump into Time Hop. We have to fill out the bracket. I want to do it live on the air. We're going to do it live of filling out the best guitarist of all time.
God, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And we got a lot of responses. And in fact, I actually just got news on they believe that there's a guitar going to auction right now that will probably be the most expensive guitar ever bought at auction from somebody you've probably never heard of before. So I'll tell you that. And if we get to this maze thing, I'm sending it to you right now. This is trippy, man. I just sent it to you. But we got a lot to get to. Less than an hour to go. 45 minutes to go. Ryan's got the morning update. Please take it away.
All righty, Matt. Well, the Guardians, they did drop game 1 of this series to the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park. Good news for the Guards, though, is Gavin Williams looked to return to form. He goes 5 1/3, 5 Ks, just 4 hits over that stretch. Guardians look to bounce back. Ben Lively on the mound for our Guards today as they look to get one.
Gavin Williams got Klubered. He got Corey Klubered. That's frustrating. You want to focus on the Rocchio play, fine. I'm going to focus that our 4 All-Stars when it combined 0 for 13. You got to have somebody step up. You have to have somebody do something, right? And, offense, but it's like, are you concerned about the Guardians and how they play some of these crappy teams? Is that a concern? Now, you'd like to say, well, I'm happy that they play the Twins tough and the Royals and the Orioles. I'm glad they play them tough. These are free wins. That should have been a free win for you yesterday. And even with just how the Tigers were, because the Tigers were stymied too. What did they do? And by the way, there was some, magician-type level stuff to get out of some of the jams that we were in yesterday. Guardians didn't have somebody touch second base, Ryan. They had no runner make it to even second base yesterday. Ain't going to win the game that way. So what they did is they got a luck hit there. Bunt got moved this guy over. They don't, that's all you got to do. It's just one little thing. And even just, I guess we are a bit of a home run hitting team to not be able to get one. I know it's hard. I know baseball hitting is hard, but it's like that frustrates me. More than the Rocchio play. You get back on it with Lively tonight. We'll get to our odds for the game tonight and set our wagers, and we get after that. But, yeah, man, I didn't like what I saw from the offense. I really thought it was a bad approach. From the Guards last night. But what are you going to do?
Alrighty, Matt. Well, trouble in paradise, but not for us. Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback Cameron Sutton was banned 8 games for violating NFL's personal conduct policy. Sutton, 29, he entered a pre-trial diversion program to resolve a domestic violence case. According to court records, he's been charged with misdemeanor battery after he turned himself in.
That's one thing that it gets hard with Watson, with Kareem Hunt when they were here, but that is one thing that these leagues and Miles Bridges, nobody wanted Miles Bridges here for the Cavs, right? And that's something that sticks with you forever. And I do want to, I want to open this up to say this. If you do that, you should rot in hell. And you go to jail, there's no excuse for that ever. Now, the other side of it, there's always, what happened, and maybe that's not the true story, or like that's where it gets so hard. So I let the courts play it out, and I see players, and I said this with Kareem Hunt with his situation, right? And I said that is a guy that wanted forgiveness. He took accountability for the mistakes that he had made, and he moved forward from it. And I will give somebody like that a second opportunity. Do I know if Deshaun Watson ever took accountability for what he did or allegedly did? I don't feel that way. So each case is so individual. NFL doesn't mess around with that kind of stuff. He got suspended, rightly so, and they continue to try to make examples to these players. Like, you cannot do those things. You just can't. Nobody should do those things. But you can't do that and want to play for us. That's as simple as that.
Alrighty, Matt. Well, Keegan Bradley, he's making another Ryder Cup team, and he'll be the Team USA captain. PGA of America announced his selection Monday after months of talking with the great Tiger Woods about taking the job.
Well, they wanted Tiger to do it, but they apparently didn't want to. I think Tiger still maybe wants to. He'll never play in a Ryder Cup again, but I think it's good for Keegan Bradley. They play the video of him not getting selected for the last one. This is a President's Cup year. So who's the captain for this year? Is it? No, wait a minute. 2024 President's Cup. Not election. That is happening for sure, too. Because Mike Weir's the captain for the Canada or for the international team. I know that. I just want this year's. Hang on.
What exactly are you trying to find?
The captain of Furyk. It's not. That's it. It's Jim Furyk. It's not Steve Stricker. I always get those guys confused. So it's Jim Furyk. So that's the President's Cup this year, which no one really cares about. But the Ryder Cup next year, good for Keegan Bradley. And I just love it. It's one of my favorite sporting events every other year. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we'll keep this one a little bit short. So we got to go to the grid. But tell me about this guitar.
Oh, okay. So we're funning. All right, so we're doing the guitar thing. I'm thrown off on that, but okay. So here we go. So one of the most recognizable Fender Stratocasters is poised to hit the auction block with a pre-sale estimate anywhere between $900,000 and $1.2 million. It was owned by Rory Gallagher, an Irish guitarist dubbed by the Rolling Stone as Hendrix and Clapton rolled into one and dubbed the greatest guitarist that you've never heard of, with influential guitarists ranging from Brian May of Queen to Bob Dylan to Eric Clapton, saying that he's the greatest guitarist of all time. Clapton once told the BBC that Gallagher should be credited with getting him back into playing the blues. He has a 1961 Fender Stratocaster, which he purchased in 1963. And the legend is that was the first guitar, the first Stratocaster to ever make it to Ireland. And it would travel with him for his entire career. He unfortunately passed away in 1995, just at the age of 47. But the Rory Gallagher 61 Fender Stratocaster is one of the world's most recognizable guitars, according to the auction that's putting this up. It could be said that this guitar carved out a legacy of him being one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
Do they say why we haven't heard of him?
I guess just because he was never in a band. He was just like a touring guy. He just did it on his own. I mean, if you got people like Brian May and Bob Dylan and all these people saying that kind of stuff. But $900,000 to $1.2 million.
But that's still interesting to me that it would sell for that much, because I feel like yes, I understand he was a great guitarist, but half of what makes it valuable is the fact that it was related to somebody super famous.
Right. That's like you would think it'd be a Jimi Hendrix guitar. You think it'd be a Prince guitar, a Jimmy Page guitar. But I guess the fact those guys used a lot of different guitar. God, what's the one that I'm thinking about? I think it's Eddie Van Halen. Because Eddie Van Halen had that one guitar that was painted a very specific way. And he, used that for a big chunk of his career. Like, that's one that I would almost sit there and say, like, ooh, that's worth all this money. Yeah. But I guess it's somebody that's really into music and they feel like this is the most recognizable guitar of all time. So we'll get to our guitarist with the bracket coming up a little bit later. Are you ready?
Yep. You want to do it?
Ready? Okay. Here we go. All right. No Commanders. We're off to a good start on that.
That's a very good start.
Here we go. Let's get to it. Timer. Take a deep breath in before we start. Go.
Giants Hall of Fame.
Lawrence Taylor.
Did he play for the other teams? Any of the other teams?
No. I think he only played for the I guess. Well, Eli Manning, is he in yet?
No way.
All right, so just go LT. Pick Montana, whatever. Yeah,
Jerry Rice.
They're Jerry Rice. Wait, what are the other two teams? Okay, you're fine. Go ahead.
What other team did Jerry Rice play for?
The Raiders. He went to a couple different teams. He played for the Raiders.
Did he really?
Yeah. I can't Google that. I would lose the sanctity of this.
Barry?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Giants, Panthers. Andy Dalton, no. Sam Darnold, no. Baker, no. Luke McCown, no. Greg Olsen, no. I'm just spamming players.
That's fine. That's, I think, a good strategy for this. You're just, Cam Newton doesn't work for any of those other ones. Jake Delhomme, don't know, not sure.
No. No.
Laviska Shenault.
Yeah, I don't think he played for the Giants.
I don't know. It sounds interesting, but yeah, we got to be sure.
Deonta Foreman, no. Jonathan Stewart, no.
Don't know. I don't know why I keep thinking of
DJ
Derek
Moore,
Brown.
no.
Like, I keep thinking Derek Brown for that spot, right?
Oh, no. Brian Burns went there this offseason.
I thought Brian Burns. Yeah, that's one that I thought of too, but he hasn't played yet there.
Stephon Gilmore didn't play for Giants, did he?
No.
Did he play? He didn't play for 49ers either, did he?
No. Richard Sherman did, but yeah, no.
Oh, gosh.
All right, it's all right. We'll move off it. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. All right, let's see if we can see anything else here. Patriots, 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, sorry.
Very fun. Garoppolo. Jimmy G.
Jimmy Pornstar? Pornstar Jimmy?
Patriots, Lions.
Patriots, Giants. There got to be something there, like, easily.
I want to say Jabril Peppers, right?
Has he played for the Patriots?
Yeah, I think he's on the Patriots now. Or he was. Go Jabril Peppers. I feel.
We got a lot on the line.
I know, but I feel extremely confident. Just click it. You're fine. Okay. All right. This one reeks of like some legendary player that went there at the end of their career. You know what I'm saying? Like
for Patriots,
yeah,
Lions?
It's not Calvin Johnson. It's not Randy Moss.
Danny Amendola? Didn't he play for the Patriots?
Oh, I know he played for the Patriots. Are you sure he played for the Lions?
I'm almost positive.
Okay, if you like it, I like it. I'm fine. Unless you...
I'm not letting that ruin it, so let's hold off.
Oh, come on, Ryan. You can't...
Yeah, but
come
like,
on.
If the time's really
this
ticking...
This is a big boy thing. We're going to have to make some decisions here.
All right, well, let's just hold on for a second.
Yeah, but you're going to help because they're going to keep thinking... All right, fine. Let's focus on that one for a second. We got time. We have time. Do you have Panthers 49ers real quick? Something reaching out? Something?
Yeah. Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah. Panthers.
Steve Smith. Did he ever play for the Giants?
I don't. That's a good poll. I don't. I want that to be a fact. I want to believe that, but I don't know. Mike Glennon came Giants. I don't know if he ever actually like made his way over to Carolina, but Mike Glennon came to thought there. Dude, this is a deep cut. I don't know. Cam Irving. I know he went to Carolina, and I think he went to the Giants.
The Browns, Cam Irving?
Yeah, remember him?
Yeah.
Remember him? But I don't know. Son of a gun. Oh, yeah, you said Greg Olsen, but he doesn't work for the Giants.
Should I just rip Danny Amendola?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, man. Okay. What?
Kickers?
Oh.
Graham Gano?
Whoa. I like your Graham Gano. Hold that. Actually, does that work?
I think that might
You know
work.
what's going to work?
Panthers.
Jeremy Shockey.
For what?
For Giants, Panthers.
I don't know.
You don't remember Jeremy Shockey?
No, I trust.
Tight end.
I trust you.
Oh man. Okay, here's where I'm at. I know for a fact.
Wait, doesn't Graham Gano work?
I think so. I know
Or
he works for Carolina.
Or do you want to go Jeremy Shockey?
Do you know which one do you feel super? Go Graham Gano. Go Graham Gano. We're overthinking. Go Graham Gano. I feel good about it. I feel really good about it. Oh, he's saucy one. All right. Okay. We got time. We got.
Does for the Lions Panthers, does Fat Randy not work?
I don't know. I know he kicked in Carolina.
Or Joey Sly?
See, we always think Joey Sly, but
Yeah.
I don't.
Dan Orlovsky, where did he play besides the Lions?
I don't know. He might work there. He might.
There's got to be a running back we're missing. Like Jonathan Stewart, no.
D'Angelo Williams was also there with him for a long time.
Jamal Williams never played for the Panthers.
No.
Kerryon Johnson, that's a cut.
That is a deep cut. That's a good call there.
Swift, obviously, no.
I'm trying to think of DBs too. It's not too many that come to mind.
Anzalone, no.
There has got. You're right. There's got to be a freaking quarterback, man. There's got to be one.
Like
Joey Harrington,
like Tim Boyle.
I think Joey Harrington might work.
I don't even know who that is.
He's back like early 2000s. I know for. Oh my god! I'm gonna have a heart attack. I feel supremely confident that I picture him in both of those uniforms. Now, the problem is the picture that I think of with Joey Harrington, he's in Seattle Seahawks throwback jerseys, and they look a lot like both of those teams.
Shit.
Yep.
How much time do we have?
I think a minute and a half.
All right.
Minute and a half. If we can't think of anything of all the ones that I've thought of that I would go with, I would probably say Joey Harrington would probably be the one. Okay. But are we sure Josh McCown doesn't work? We know he works for Carolina. Detroit, I can't picture him there, but I don't know. Yeah, man. Now I'm starting to rethink Steve Smith, too.
Shit.
15 seconds.
I almost feel like Fat Randy works.
Okay.
I mean, Matt Prater, did he ever play for the Panthers?
No, I don't think so. Well, actually, again, now that I'm rethinking it.
All right, what do you want to go with?
That's time.
Who's your guy?
Joey Harrington. But, again, do you know for a fact Randy Bullock kicked for one of those teams? You know for a fact he kicked for Carolina, right?
I almost think I know he kicked for Detroit.
I feel better that he kicked for Carolina. So we feel probably better on that. Look, Joey Harrington, I can't actually remember. I remember him on the Lions for
Should
sure.
we try Randy Bullock?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, God, this is for a...
Yeah, we can't say the prize yet.
Just rip it? I mean... Unless...
Go Joey Harrington. Let's go Joey.
You sure?
Yeah, I'll take that.
He only has 5 years. You sure?
Really? Oh, God. I don't know. We're over time, so we've already kind of screwed it. All right, go Fat Randy. Go Fat Randy.
Like, I
Just
remember
click.
him in the
Just
line.
click. Just click. Just click.
Most popular was Teddy Bridgewater. I didn't even know he played for the Lions. I could have sworn, dude.
To be fair, Joey Harrington wouldn't have worked either.
What
He
teams
played
did
for the Lions.
What teams has Fat Randy played for?
Did you click on the full list to see? Something. Texans, Jets, Giants, Steelers, Bengals. No, he never played for the Panthers. He was only on Detroit for an offseason. Titans, Giants. He's back on the Giants.
Damn it.
Anybody else of note other than Ted Bridgewater?
See Amir Abdullah, CJ Anderson. I mean, no. Frank Reich. That was DJ Chark. Oh, I could have got that. Man, that is a tough one.
That was tough.
That is big depressing.
That is very tough. We're just going to have to do it again next week. We're just going to have to do it again next week.
It's not going to hit the
Don't know
same
what to
next
tell you.
week.
It's not going to hit the same at all. All right, you want to jump right in timeout? A little late?
Yeah, we can do that.
Depressed now. It's a tough one. Super tough one, but we run through timeout. I'll tell you what happened here on the 9th of July. Let's jump on into it, including going back to this day 2020. The Cleveland Browns announced that all season ticket holders would have the option to move their plans back to 2021. Obviously, that was COVID. They probably didn't need anybody in the stands. They didn't want anybody in the stands, so they allowed season ticket holders the option to push their plan back a year if they wanted to. This day, 2019, was the MLB All-Star Game right here in Cleveland, which was a lot of fun. This day, 2011, Derek Jeter hit his 3,000th hit, which was a home run. You know where I stand on Jeter?
Yeah, I was about to say, tell us how you feel.
Really overrated, but that's just me. This day, 2010, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. LeBron, Bosh, and Dwayne Wade all officially sign with the Heat and host that party where LeBron gets up there and he says, not 1, not 2, not 3.
You got 2.
Well, it wasn't 3. I'll tell you that. Certainly was not that. This day, 2002, the MLB All-Star Game was officially declared a tie. It was 7-7 after 11 innings, and nobody wanted to play anymore, so they just considered it a tie. I didn't have this for movies and TV shows because I didn't know if, well, I'll throw this one to you. 2001, an extremely popular American television show got its start in Britain this day, 2001.
It's just The Office?
The Office is correct, because Ricky Gervais always gives, Steve Carell crap about it. The Office released in the UK this day, 2001. This day, 1998, Bud Selig was named the MLB commissioner. He was the acting commissioner for 6 years before they actually gave him the title. This day, 1998. This day, 1995, the Grateful Dead had their last performance as a full group because Jerry Garcia would pass away 1 month later. This day, 1981, one of the most influential video games of all time, Donkey Kong, was released this day, 1981.
Like where he's throwing barrels at you?
Yeah, oh yeah, Donkey Kong. Yeah, DK, man. This day, 1968, NBA history was made when Wilt Chamberlain was traded from the Bucks to the Lakers, and it was the first time in NBA history that a reigning MVP was traded the offseason after they won the award. Didn't Kawhi then change that?
Kawhi didn't win MVP.
He didn't? What am I thinking of then?
Kawhi's never won MVP.
Hasn't that happened since? I feel like that's happened since. Maybe like in a sign and trade or something? I don't remember. But this day, 1968, Wilt traded from the Bucks to the Lakers. First time in NBA history a reigning MVP was traded the season after he won it. I hope that you never have to go through this, Ryan. But
the only one that I could think would have put maybe Russ, but I don't think. I mean, the year he won it, I think he went back
NBA
I think he won it and then went
MVP
back to the Thunder for another year. Because Russ won in what, 2017?
James Harden?
Like a 3-year period where KD won one, Harden won one, and Russ won one.
Kevin Garnett was the most recent NBA MVP to then be traded and then win the championship after. But I was talking about, that's baseball.
Yeah.
About MVPs getting traded. But yeah, basketball. I don't know. Here, wait. Was it LeBron?
We didn't trade LeBron.
Technically, we traded him to the Miami Heat.
Oh, really?
Wasn't that not a sign and trade?
Oh, you would
I
know.
guess switch teams would be.
You would know better than I do.
Yeah, that would be switching teams, but I don't know. Anyway. All right, we go back. I hope you never have to go through this, but it happened for the first time ever this day, 1893. Surgeon Daniel Hale Williams performed the first ever successful open heart surgery on a knife wound victim. Closed something up in the heart. He did it without penicillin or a blood transfusion, and the patient survived the first ever successful open heart surgery in 1893. Can you imagine that crap?
No.
Like, they weren't even sterilizing stuff.
I was going to say, they probably didn't even have washed hands.
No. At that point, they probably did, but like back in the Revolutionary War, they were just cutting guys' legs off and off to the next one. Like, I don't know, it's crazy. This day, 1877, the first ever Wimbledon championship was held. Tennis doesn't do it for me. I know how to score tennis, but not really my thing. Do you know the famous president that only lasted 16 months into his presidency?
William Henry Harrison.
Zachary Taylor. Was it?
Oh,
Well, no, he died quick.
Was William Henry Harrison the weeks president? He was like only president for weeks?
Zachary Taylor passed away in 1850, only 16 months into his presidency. Which one got sick at their inauguration and then died?
It was William Henry
Okay,
Harrison.
so that's the other
He
one.
got like pneumonia.
That's it. He got sick at his own inauguration.
He says he's the 9th U.S. president.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's him. So again, Zachary Taylor passed away only 16 months into his presidency. I wish we could do this right now. This day, 1795, James Swan paid off the U.S. national debt of $2.02 million in one fell swoop. Was that the last time we didn't have a debt?
Yeah, probably.
What's the current U.S. debt?
I see it on the way to work every day.
I know,
it's
you
like
see that
something
sign.
trillion. It's like
The U.S. national debt clock. Here it is.
17 trillion or something.
34,855,429 million dollars, and it's ticking up towards 430. I'm not kidding you. It's going up $40,000 every single second that I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Every single person in America would have to pay $103,000 to get us out of the national debt.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, right. There we are. Very happy birthday goes on. O.J. Simpson, Kelly Holcomb, Tom Hanks, Jack White, Courtney Love, R.I.P. Brian Dennehy, Big Tom Callahan, Fred Savage, Bon Scott, and Kevin Nash, all celebrating birthdays today. All right, 2 movies for you, both of a comedic version. We start with a film, this day, 2004. Really highly quoted by a lot of people. And a lot of the antics are surrounding a newsroom with a particular news anchor.
The Anchorman? I mean, I was going to get it regardless.
Anchorman is correct.
I was going to get it regardless, but...
That movie has so many great quotes. The second one was trash. Like, so freaking bad. First one, can't beat it. Tell her she should get a coat. I'm sorry. Tell her she should get a coat. It's really cold there. Are you and Champagne having fun? Ryan Fontana, Champ Kine.
I can't remember which one's which between the first and the second one. Is the second one is when that really handsome looking dude, they make that bet. Is that the second one?
That's the second one.
Okay.
That's the second one. Because I think it's James Marsden.
The one where he goes blind?
Yeah, that's the second one. Do I amuse you? Yeah, that one's pretty good. Yeah. I'm sorry, it's not. I don't think that movie's very good. But first one's solid. All right, another one that has spawned several sequels, several offshoots. It started this day, 1999. It's a high school coming-of-age comedy with a particular bakery item in the center of the whole thing.
Bakery. Talking about cakes?
Kinda. Not cakes necessarily per se, but
Cupcakes?
no.
Brownies?
No. It's like a cake, but it's not.
It's like a cake, but it's
A lot of people like apple.
Oh, pie? Oh, American Pie.
American Pie, 1999. This day, 1999. First one, again, solid. Second one, not bad. And then it just jumped the shark with American Wedding and all that other crap that they all just try to glom onto. And then they all had a bunch of offshoots. You know, they made one about, like, band camp and then, you know, Stifler and all that kind of stuff. Again, first one, solid. Rest of them, really, really bad. All right, you want to get to this maze thing before we get to our bracket?
Oh, shit, yeah. We got to fill that out.
Yeah, we got to fill the bracket out. So we'll need a couple minutes, and then I do want to get to our plays for tonight for the Guardians. Under hit last night. I should have listened to myself, but we'll get to the Guardians.
Wasn't even close.
Yeah, right. But we'll get to the Guardians game. So, Ryan, I sent you. Did you get it?
Did you send it to my phone?
I emailed it to you.
Oh, yeah, I can pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up. So I don't know why. This article came out this morning. I thought it was pretty interesting. That a group of physicists claim to have created the world's most difficult maze ever. So scientists out of the United Kingdom and a team of physicists in Switzerland have created a maze that they claim is almost impossible to figure out. They say they published this for a research paper, but it was made for a higher purpose. The geometric concepts that the average person has never heard of using this maze was designed to help better understand something called quasi-crystals. They are, by definition, structures that are ordered but not periodic, while a quasi-crystalline pattern can continuously fill all available space but lacks translational symmetry. These are all words that I don't know what they mean. Very few quasi-crystals have actually ever been seen on Earth. 3 were discovered in a meteorite discovered in Serbia, while another artificial one was created in the first ever nuclear explosion in New Mexico. Quasi-crystals, as scientists explain, are like slices through a crystal that live in 6 different dimensions. We look at the shapes and the lines we construct, and we notice they formed an incredibly intricate maze, said Dr. Felix Flicker of the University of Bristol. So this team, using these ideas of basically using up the whole space and nothing following a pattern with 6 different dimensions, they created the maze you see on your screen that they say is virtually impossible to solve.
Yeah, because you just have no way, like you quite literally have no way possible of knowing what direction you're going in.
Here's what got trippy for me. Stare at it. Do you see all those circles?
Yeah.
You see all the circles overarching one another.
Yeah.
And they claim that this is...
Dude, I would have... Oh, my God. I'm like having a panic attack just thinking about being in that.
Imagine if you were in it. Right, not even just you and I sitting here with it, like, drawn, like, you need a big piece of paper to try to, like, trace it and follow it. The research demonstrates that the quasi-crystals can be highly efficient absorbers of space. And they actually think this could be used something which creating, like, CO2 molecules and stopping it from entering the atmosphere or whatever. Our work shows that quasi-crystals may be better than crystals for some absorption applications. But in the meantime, they make really cool mazes. So they put that... I don't even know where you start. Where does that maze even start? Like, I'm looking at...
The red?
Oh, I thought... Well, sometimes you ever hear the old... that you start at the end and go backwards to do a maze. So I guess even if you started there... Oh, my God. Yeah, you'd have a panic attack. You'd have a panic attack in that. So researchers have come up and they say that they don't believe any human being would be able to solve this maze.
That like makes me want to freak out.
Why? Just gives you anxiety?
Yeah, thinking about being trapped in there.
Right.
Oh God, that is so scary.
Right.
But that'd be a big ass maze though.
Oh yeah, it'd be huge. Yeah. We show certain quasi-crystals provide a special case. The problem is unexpectedly simple. In this setting, we therefore render some seemingly impossible problem tractable. That could be including practical purpose spanning realms of science. Yeah. Can't do that. Won't do that. I just go back to the grid. That's the easier thing to do. Let's get to it. We're going to fill it out live. Do we still have our old one on there?
You said the grid. You mean the bracket?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, the grid's still on my mind.
Let's do the because I just copy and paste it so I can just make it super easy.
Okay, so here are number 1 seeds. Jimi Hendrix got to be number 1. And we'll take last-minute suggestions, by the way. But I'm going to go to the tweet here. I retweeted it this morning. All right, Hendrix has got to be 1.
Who's our other 1 seeds?
We got a lot of love for Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'll listen to that.
Steamy Ray Vaughan?
Stevie Ray Vaughan. You got it.
Have you seen that South Park episode?
No. I didn't know. I was making sure that you knew. All right, Eddie Van Halen's got to be a number 1, I would say.
Who?
Eddie Van Halen. And then I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to go Carlos Santana, Jimmy Page, Chuck Berry? Let's go Chuck Berry.
Okay.
I think Chuck Berry deserves to be
some
a number
love
1
for Chuck Berry.
Yes.
My dingling Chuck Berry.
Yep. All right. 2 seeds have got to be Jimmy Page.
What's Mr. Slash?
Slash probably a 2 seed. I was going to get there too.
Wait, you said seriously.
OCO's problem. Who are we going to put up against?
So
Jimmy Page?
I should go backwards then. So this should be
put Jimmy Page there.
Yeah,
that's fine. Put Slash up against. I don't know. What do you think? Group 3? Yeah, that's fine. Put Slash there. Clapton, you could put him there.
Oh God.
Yeah. It ain't gonna be easy, man.
I'm gonna say that's the problem. It's like nothing you can do.
Yep.
What do people in your Twitter say?
So but again, I'm trying to rank. Okay, we still got to put Carlos Santana somewhere.
Well, then he's got to go with Hendrix.
Yeah, well, somebody's gonna fucking bitch that we're put him there. Trust me.
Dude,
I'm waiting for that.
That's my whole life ever since we started the show. People bitching at me for the press.
I go, how can you put Jimi Hendrix and Carlos Santana in the? I don't know. I guess you're right. Somebody's got to go there. I don't know what to tell.
All right, I'll put Slash there.
See, I don't want to put Slash. No, fine. Put Slash. Fine. Put Slash there.
And then
you got to put Carlos Santana up against Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Yeah.
Man, are people going to be mad?
Yeah. They can make their own.
All right, David Gilmour.
Who?
Pink Floyd. David Gilmour's got to go somewhere.
Where do you want him?
I don't know. I don't want him there either.
Whatever. These guys aren't going to win anyway. They're 3 seeds.
Yeah. Randy Rhoads. Ozzy Osbourne and crew.
Randy.
Oh, my God. We forgot Prince. Just put him in there somewhere. He's got to be an instant 3 seed. Put him right there. That's fine. God, we forgot him. Shout out
how do
to
you spell
Rob.
Randy Rhoads?
Randy with a Y. There's an A in there. You got pretty close, though. You got pretty close. Randy, RHOADS. So pretty well done on that.
Oh, DES or just
ADS?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. No E. You don't need the E in there. Thank you.
No.
Jeff Beck.
Wait, we just need our 4 seeds now. Oh wait, no, we still need 2. We still need one more 3 seed. One more 3 seed. Tom Morello.
Yeah, you like Tom Morello. You can put him in there.
We're definitely forgetting somebody huge, probably.
I can guarantee you. So, okay, I'm going to run through. These are all the ones that I got submissions for. And I'm just going to do them all. So, again, tell me which. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Prince, Jeff Beck, Jimmy Page.
Oh, wait. I didn't put Jeff Beck in here.
You throw Jeff Beck in somewhere. I think he deserves to go.
Who's he?
I know him from he was in the Yardbirds.
Is it spelled how you?
Yeah, just Jeff Beck. Yeah, just Jeff Beck. I know him from the Yardbirds, but he was in the Jeff Beck group. But really, the Yardbirds launching of what they were with Jimmy Page. Dude, can you imagine this? They had a band with Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, and Jeff Beck all in it together. The Yardbirds. That's pretty good. All right. Jimmy Page clap. Randy Rhoads, Eddie Van Halen, Tommy Iommi of Black Sabbath, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eugene Martone of The Devil, Wes Montgomery, Hendrix, Derek Trucks, Jimmy Page, Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Steve Lukather, John Frusciante. I do want in there. I like John Frusciante.
How do you spell his name?
John, regular John. FRUSCIANTE. Oh, do we put Jerry Garcia in here? He's just in timeout.
Sure. So we only need one more.
Slash.
We got him.
Zach Watt. Did you put Brian May in?
No.
Rolling Stones.
No, do you want me to? He'd be our last. He'd be our last entry then. We only need one more entry.
Oh wait, no, not Brian. No, oh, I'm such an idiot. Brian May is from Queen. Put him in, not the Rolling Stones. Brian Jones. That's what I was thinking of. Brian May, Queen. He probably deserves it.
Okay. I mean, I'm looking at this list of like.
Oh, Dimebag Darrell.
I'm looking at this list on the Rolling Stones, and we're doing pretty. Like, we've got a lot of people they have in the top 16.
Mark Knopfler, he was the lead guitarist for the Dire Straits. Mark Knopfler.
I mean, if the people want what the people want.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Jay Wiz says Dimebag Darrell, which I kind of agree with, and Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits.
Well, we got one more. We got one more spot.
Somebody put Frank Zappa on this. Ace Frehley of Kiss. Oh God, how do we forget Angus Young of AC/DC? All right, I got another Okay, I got another push for Dimebag Darrell.
His name's Dimebag Darrell.
You never heard of Dimebag Darrell?
Sounds like a Trailer Park Boys character.
No, it's Pantera.
His name's Dimebag.
Dimebag, like
all one word.
Dimebag Darrell. Yes, just put Dimebag Darrell. Darrell. You don't know You don't know who Pantera
no,
is?
Matt, I was born in 2001.
It's Pantera.
I don't even know what Pantera is. Never heard.
You've
of
never
it.
heard Walk?
No.
It's actually called Respect, but Walk. Go listen to Cemetery Gates on your way home.
That's like me saying
that's their best song. Actually, is Pantera. Dimebag Darrell and his brother, they started Pantera. Vinnie Jones, who also unfortunately passed away recently. Dimebag Darrell got shot and killed at a show in Ohio, I think outside of Columbus. Somebody walked up on the stage and shot him.
Bad things happen.
Unfortunately, I know. Dimebag Darrell.
All right, well, we got, all right.
So I got two. So we left off Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits. We didn't put in Angus Young of AC/DC. Ace Frehley didn't make it. Frank Zappa didn't make it. Somebody voted for him, which I liked.
I'm going to get yelled at.
I'm just going to send it all towards you, buddy. It's your problem. That's a problem. We only had 16. We probably could have done even bigger. We didn't put B.B. King. Oh, my God. We forgot Johnny Winter.
Who was that?
You don't know who Johnny Winter is?
No! I don't know every guitarist on the planet.
Fair enough. Edgar Winter Group. Good one there. All right.
Well, I think we got a good group.
I think that's pretty close. Works for me.
All right. Group 1, Hendrix / Gilmore, Dimebag Darrell. 2, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Carlos Santana, Randy Rhoads, Jerry Garcia.
There. I would maybe go David Gilmour, but you got to go Hendrix.
Let's see
what was Group 2 one more time? Sorry, I didn't mean to have you click off.
Joe Walsh, people want.
Oh.
Shout out Glenn.
Who are we going to take? Pull it back up.
Oh, good gravy. All right.
Joe Walsh probably needs to make this.
Wait, what did he just say? No, and Hayden says no Keith Richard.
Like he doesn't want Keith Richards in there, or he does?
Think, like he does. Who the hell is Keith Richard?
Rolling Stones? I look at him more as a lyricist, like him together with Paul McCartney, with Mick Jagger. All right.
Get rid of. Like,
I guess take out Frascante.
And put who?
I would probably say Joe Walsh.
Okay.
Just on my part of it.
Okay. Well, shout out Glenn. He's getting what he wants. You better vote for him.
Joe Walsh.
I mean, people are going to bitch regardless.
I know, but like...
We could have the most perfect list.
I mean, we could do a rat tail tomorrow. Or we just got to sometimes make the call.
What is TBP?
TBP?
Yeah. He said, Dimebag for show, bro. Go listen to Pantera.
Yeah, you got to go listen to Cemetery Gaze.
Well, what's TBP?
I don't know.
Oh well. Yeah, see, they want Keith Richard. You said that's Rolling Stones?
Yeah. TBP. Who the hell is that?
I don't know.
It's whoever sent that in. Please expand.
That was Charles.
Charles?
Trailer Park Boys. Because I said Dimebag Darrell sounds like a Trailer Park Boys name.
Okay. So we have a big push for Keith Richards.
Yeah.
All right, pull it back up.
Oh my goodness! All right.
Last time. This is the last.
All
time.
right.
This is the last one. Well, it's got to be a 4 seed.
Then take out Jeff Beck or.
God, I take a Jeff Beck out of that, man. I ain't doing that.
Then take Dimebag.
No,
Darrell.
Everybody loves Dimebag. You want to know the one you probably gonna take
Jerry
out?
Garcia.
Be Tom Morello.
Fine. I don't even want. Fine.
No, but I want Tom Morello in there. I like Tom Morello. Randy Rowe, God bless it.
Let's just take out Hendricks.
Yeah, he's going to win the whole thing anyway. I guess we're bitching for
That's
no
what
reason.
I'm saying. So we always do. We bitch for people who don't even have a chance of winning.
I don't know. Do this. Groups 1 and 2 are just going to stay fit. We'll figure it out tomorrow. Okay?
Fair enough.
All right, Guardians, Tigers. Now we're way late. Guardians -140 favorite again. I like Cleveland to get the win. I like a minus the 1.5 tonight. Take that. Book it. The over 5 out of Cleveland's last 7 games. Cleveland's 4-8 straight up in their last 12 against Detroit. Just 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games on the road. Under has hit 7 out of their last 9 games up there at Comerica. Detroit under 12 out of their last 17 against the Guards and 6 out of their last 8 games at home. I would say probably take the under again, but with Lively on the hill. And Kente Maeda, who the Guardians have been able to beat, he's got a 6 ERA tonight. Guardians -1.5. I might even get spicy and go -2.5 to try to make up for last night. So I like the Guardians to get a nice win tonight. I like Lively. In his last 3 starts, he has had 15 strikeouts. So I'll tell you what, boost me this. Guardians -1.5. Lively 5 or more strikeouts, and sprinkle me a hit. Kwan's got to get a hit tonight. So sprinkle me a Kwan a hit. There's my parlay for tonight. Get after it, Guards. We'll talk to you on a Wednesday edition. For Ryan Tyler, bitching him about the guitars. I'm Matt Fontana. Don't bitch at me about it. Take it easy.